Hey y'all, my name is Rubber Jones, and I'm going to give you a fly-through commentary on the Lynx at DR Disc Golf in Orrington, Maine. Or could be Dr. Disc Golf, I think. I'm not a pro player, just average, but I'm pretty solid inside of 5 feet, just saying. The goal here is to show you the course, give you some quality information that you can use with your knowledge of your discs to come up with a game plan on how to attack this course. You'll be playing on high quality Mach X baskets, although they felt very low to the ground. The first thing that struck me about the course is the tee pads are the best I've ever played on. I've never seen this material on a pad before. It feels like the green Scotch-Brite pads that you scrub a pan with. The Lynx course is 6,125 feet long. It looks like a lynx and plays like a mountain lion. It's deceivingly difficult. Some of the fairways are quite narrow for such long drives, and although the rough is manicured nicely, it can punish you quickly for being off the fairway. There was a nice mix of short ace runs and long technical shots. Nothing really stood out to me as being a signature hole. The property was a little bland for that, but I think they used what they had nicely. This course is all in the woods, but with a more open and airy feel, which allows more wind to come into play than you would expect in the woods. Here we go with hole 1. Hole 1 is a par 3, 211 feet. It's a straight shot just up behind that skinny tree in the center. There's more room out left of it to finish, but this is just a simple shot for left or right hand. I don't know if the snowpack was just deep around the basket, but it seemed very low to the ground. Also, there was a decent headwind here. When I say low to the ground, the basket was like almost below my knee. Don't really see baskets quite that low. Hole 2 is a par 5, 529 feet. This is a 300-foot straight shot to that first white arrow, and then 229 to the basket. If you throw 250 off the tee and finish left enough, you can catch a decent lane to the basket, but you'll still have 280 to go. There's a generous landing zone left and right of the basket, but you're going to really need to want to stay on these fairways because it's not that there's a lot of trees out there, but it's hard to find wide enough gaps that you feel confident hitting. Hole 3, par 3, 199 feet. This is set up better for an overstable flick shot since you see these small guardian trees in the middle that will leave you with too long of a putt if you try to turn over because it would cut in a little too early. So you want something that pushes straight for a bit and then dumps hard to the right afterwards. Hole 4, par 4, 278 feet. This shot turns slightly right at that white arrow, then goes straight again. It's a tricky turnover shot, and I think it's not as suitable for a flick since the straight distance after the turn is too far to carry with a flick line. A guaranteed 3 play is a straight 180-foot layup. Then you'll have an easy pitch up to the basket. If you land off the fairway, you have a 50-50 chance of a lane to the basket, which could be complicated with a difficult stance against a tree, or at this time of year, deeper snow to stand in. Hole 5, par 5, 474 feet. The guy in the clubhouse said it's actually 525 feet. There's a lot of trouble off the fairway on this hole. It's a straight tunnel shot for 280 to 320 feet. Will give you a clean look at the basket with another tunnel shot about 250 feet. The tree in the distance with the white arrow on it is pin high, maybe 25 feet to the right of the basket. Hole 6, par 4, 340 feet. This plays a little uphill, so unless you have 400 feet of power, play a 280-foot straight shot, then stick a clean up shot. If you don't get through the first half of the hole off the tee, expect to get a 4. Hole 7, par 4, 337 feet. This is slightly uphill again. It'll take about 380 feet of power to go pin high. Again, it seems like it's cleared out nice to the left and right off the fairway, but if you don't clear half the distance off the tee and go off the center fairway, expect a 4. Landing in the fairway on this course is an absolute must. Hole 8, par 5, 563 feet. Can you throw exactly 250 feet to that white arrow through a 12-foot wide gap? That'll give you the only look at the 20-foot wide fairway to go the rest of the way. This hole will eat your lunch. It's very slim odds making forward progress once you get off the fairway. Putt back to the center and you might be able to salvage a par. I don't think 50% of the field will get a 4, even in doubles. The play is a pinpoint 250-foot backhand and then a pinpoint 300-foot forehand, but I think that's harder than a 250-foot ace. Hole 9, par 3, 177 feet. This is another zone flick shot. I feel like 200 feet of power pushes deeper into a larger putting area and lowers the risk of hitting that inside tree on the right side. Hole 10, par 5, 465 feet. Break this hole down into 2 shots. A straight 250-foot shot that just crests that bump and lands before the white arrow, gives you a clean look up to the next part of the fairway. If you don't land in a 20-foot circle, it's almost impossible accessing the green. The green is generous in size on the left and right for approaching either backhand or forehand. Hole 11, par 3, 163 feet. Backhand a zone on hyzer and let it dump left just before that white arrow. The ground is fast by the basket, kind of slopes away a little bit, so you want it to stick the landing really good. Par 5, 621 feet. You have a decent gap off the tee, but the further you throw, the tighter the gap gets. The white arrow on the tree is about 400 feet, but it's more like 440 to a clean look up the next part of the fairway. I think a 3 is a unicorn, but you can manage a 4 easily with 3 200-foot straight shots. But do you have the patience to throw 200 feet off a 621-foot tee? Hole 13, par 5, 426 feet. See this tree on the left? I don't know how it's still alive because it probably gets beat up constantly. I think the power flickers will love this hole. Backhand players, maybe chuck a flippy high-speed driver and pray it doesn't hit anything. After this ditch, it goes right, but I didn't see any obvious fairway. I was wondering if I was even going to the right basket. If I even shot a 3 on this hole, I'd feel like I'd won the lottery. Hole 14, par 4, 317 feet. This hole was made for a Firebird, I think. The white arrow is about 200 feet away. Then you want the disc to bail out left hard. With so many guardian trees about 50 or 60 feet from the basket, a skip shot might be the play to try to slide through vertically. Hole 15 is a par 3, 221 feet. You can throw a turnover or a flick, but it's better to finish left than right because on the right side there's some early trees that'll turn this muscat bird into a par quickly. Hole 16, par 4, 323 feet. The white arrow is about 240 feet. Then the fairway turns left, then right. Or you can take your chances through the late trees for the 2. I think it takes too aggressive of a play for the 2, so a 3 is probably the safe play. Not really a hole you're looking for a stroke on, just to safely pass. Hole 17, par 3, 195 feet, slightly uphill. This is the must-get of all must-gets. It's wide open for a left or right, a good ace run for doubles. Hole 18, par 4, 286 feet. This was more challenging than I thought it was going to be. It's uphill and to the right. Is a great flick shot or a glidey, understable fairway backhand, like maybe a river. It was easy to stall out left, but it was pretty open over there anyways.